Welcome back to 10 Minutes with Kuhle. Now, ladies and gentlemen, today's story is so spicy it could make even Ramaphosa choke on his Wagyu steak. Yes, we're talking about Donald Trump's refugee program, the brand new lifeboat for persecuted minorities in South Africa. And here's the kicker. If Cyril tries to block it, he may find himself punished in ways he's not ready for. So on February 7th, 2025, Trump signs an executive order, boom, addressing egregious actions of the Republic of South Africa, meaning if you're an Afrikaner or any other minority facing racial discrimination, land grabs, or politically motivated crimes, Uncle Sam has a seat for you. Now let's remember, Trump shut down the entire refugee system on day one, January 20. He said, no more Americans. America needs a breather. But then he made one exception. Guess who? South African minorities. That tells you how seriously Washington is taking our so-called rainbow nation. They see the rainbow, but it's upside down. Meanwhile, Cyril Ramaphosa is out here saying, no, there's no persecution, no targeting of whites, everything is fine, comrades. Sure, Cyril, everything's fine, except for 19,000 murders a year, collapsing infrastructure, land expropriation, threats, and unemployment that makes Zimbabwe look like Switzerland. Now, here's the juicy part. This is a doozy. Trump even brought in Amerikaners, a group started by Sam Busa earlier this year to act as a referral partner. Think of it as a matchmaker for Afrikaner and the American dream. They already helped dozens land in Virginia and Texas, and the projection is 30,000 arrivals by next year. Refugees get housing, jobs, schools, the whole 9 yards. Processing time, just 3 months, instead of the 2 years Syrians and Congolese wait. Why? Because these folks actually fit America's assimilation model, not some aliens looking to suck from the West. But here's where it gets juicy. Ramaphosa is furious. He's calling the claims unfounded. He's crying foul. He's trying to block the narrative. Cyril, let me warn you right here. If you interfere with this program, if you such as much slam the door on Afrikaners trying to leave, you'll face consequences. Remember what happened with the Kenyan guys that were supposed to come to South Africa to assist the US Embassy to process these visas or to process these applications? They were blocked by South Africa. Now, if Ramaphosa keeps pushing, Pretoria could be next on that blacklist from the US. Imagine tens of thousands of South Africans unable to access American visas because South Africa blocked Kenyan visas who were on a mission of the American embassy to assist South Africans. Now, critics scream, this is racist. This is just for whites. Wrong. The program's been clarified. It's open to any minority, colored, Indian, whoever can prove persecution. But of course, the ANC elites hate it because it exposes the dirty laundry they've been hiding under the bed. Racial nationalism disguised as transformation. Supporters, on the other hand, call this Voortrekkers 2.0, new pioneers heading west. And honestly, they're not wrong, except this time, the wagons are airplanes and the promised land is Texas. So, ladies and gentlemen, an interesting thing is our president, Cyril Ramaphosa, has tried to stop this, project from continuing. And not just him, including Ronald Lamula. They've tried all ways, from visa freezes to all sorts. I mean, they blocked the Kenyans from coming. But, the American embassy always finds ways to save people. And let's be quite honest. If you're in a country with unemployment as high as 70%, remember that unemployment is as high as 70% for youth. What is there to stay for? Why is the South African government blocking people from accessing refuge, from accessing better economic opportunities? Because you purposely block them from accessing those economic opportunities with your BEE, with your EEA, with your COIDA, with all those racist 146 race laws. Why? I mean, it is ludicrous what the ANC is thinking or doing. I mean, it doesn't end there. Look at the healthcare system. The healthcare system is in shambles, but yet you still want people to stay here. The ANC has got a tendency of forcing all of us to suffer with them. Now they've signed the NHI because, well, look, they can't look after their own crappy hospitals. Now we should start using their hospitals. They have lost the plot. That's what they've done. Anything that is bad, the ANC will force you to use. You look at public schools, Bella Bull. No, your kid can't go to the school. Your kid needs to go to the school with no roof and everyone studies in a tin hut. It's rubbish what is going on with the ANC. I will never get these crooks and these comrades. Now they are blocking minorities from accessing refuge. But hold on, the Americans were one step ahead of them. They realized if you're going to block us from getting Kenyans, we will just get Afrikaners who are South Africans who technically don't need visas to actually process, who don't need South African visas, I need to highlight, who could actually process this program and actually fill in this thing. Imagine in 3 months, you could be in the US. So here's the final word. Trump has made it clear that America will open its doors for those South Africans the ANC has abandoned. But Cyril better think twice before trying to derail this. Because if Ramaphosa blocks the exodus, punishment won't just be diplomatic slaps on the wrist. It'll be visa freezes, aid cuts, maybe even sanctions. And South Africa's already limping. Cannot afford another broken leg. From 30% tariffs to this rubbish, it paints a grim picture for this country. Ladies and gentlemen, that has been it for 10 minutes with Kuhle. Thank you for watching and supporting this channel. Please do subscribe. We need to get our subscriber numbers up. It's so interesting to find that only 10% of my viewers have actually subscribed to the channel. So please, and a pretty please, do subscribe to the channel, as well as let's share the content. Please let us share the content far and wide. We need the truth to go far. We cannot allow lefties to win. We saw what happened to Charlie Kirk. And if we, conservative-leaning, Judeo-Christian believing people, don't stand up and circulate the truth, I fear more of such heinous crimes could become an often reality. So, as well as you can support this channel by signing up for membership. It's as cheap as 20 Rand. And you can also buy me a coffee by sending me a super chat in the comments below. This has been it for 10 minutes with Kuhle. I've been your host, Kuhle Maseko. Till next time, stay blessed, stay anti-woke, and always fight for a better South Africa. Shalom.
And keeping up with the old saying of try until you succeed, South Africa has prepared a new trade deal for the US. Details of the new offer are not known yet. However, the Ramaphosa government has hinted at increasing imports of US poultry, blueberries and pork. Pretoria remains determined to explain to Trump that South African exports are not a threat to US production. The US is South Africa's third largest trading partner after the European Union and China. However, South African exports account for only 0.25% of the total US imports. South Africa is trying to reason with Trump, a strategy which has rarely worked with the US president. Trump is not happy with South Africa's domestic and international policies. Trump has accused the Ramaphosa government of discriminating against the white people with policies like the Land Expropriation Act and the Black Economic Empowerment Act. The US president is also irked by South Africa's genocide case against America's ally Israel. And one of his biggest issues remains South Africa's BRICS membership. Now, Washington has also accused Pretoria of abusing racial minorities in its recently released human rights report. The Ramaphosa government has slammed the report as deeply flawed and has repeatedly denied Trump's charges. South Africa is not only facing external pressure from Trump, but also internal conflict. The second biggest party in South Africa's coalition government, the Democratic Alliance, thinks that US tariffs are likely to remain until and unless the government changes some of its domestic race policies.
The issues the Trump administration has are not isolated to trade. There are geopolitical issues that they have flagged, and there are domestic issues in South Africa that they've flagged. And it is very clear that while we've been negotiating